The Department of Tourism and Travel Management of Dwarkada's Govardhana Vaishnav College welcomes you all to the 3-day online workshop on airline geography. So, what is geography? Geography is a Greek word which can be split into two. Geo means earth, and graphy, which is graph, means study of something in a written or drawn format. So, putting these together, geo and graphy means study of earth in a written or a drawn format. What are the types of tourism geography? So we have three types of tourism geography. The first one is destination geography. So destination geography is nothing but the study of properties and characteristics of a location that will make a traveler to visit that particular location. So we have certain criteria which we categorize into the properties and characteristics. The first one is your attractions. Now, attractions is any destinations which has a place to see is what tourists wants to go. So when we talk about attractions, there are two types of attractions. One is man-made attractions, attractions which are made by man. Examples are Taj Mahal, China Wall, Epcot Center, and so on. And we are the other one is nature-made attractions, which are naturally formed. For example, the Great Barrier Reef, the Uluru Rock in Australia, the caves in India, Himalayas. So all these will go into your natural attractions. The next one is your accessibility. Accessibility is nothing but what are the ways we can go to a particular destination, and in that destination, what are the means of visiting the attractions in those destinations. Accessibility can be any modes of transportation, your air, sea, road, or whatever. The next one is cost and standard of living. Cost and standard of living is very important. As a tourist, when we travel to a particular destination, we generally see what is the cost of living there. How much should I spend there? How much should I go on with my shopping? How much of what is the entrance fee? So how much should I take with me? So all these will go into your cost and standard of living. The next one is culture. Any destination has its own culture. So if you take India, India has a variety of culture. It is diverse in nature. So most of the people come here to learn what culture is followed by the Indian people in different regions or different states. The next one is climate. Climate is one of the most influential character of a destination. So when we speak about climate, there are two different words which we most often misuse, which is weather and climate. Now, weather is something which happens in a particular time. So when we take our mobile phones, we see morning there will be a little bit cloudy. The maybe around 9 o'clock we'll have sunshine and 12 o'clock we'll have sunshine. So that is a weather which belongs to a particular time. But climate is an average weather which is extended throughout the for a period of time. For example, maybe from June to um, sorry, from March to June we have the summertime. The climate is very sunny. We tell that. So that is climate. Climate is a very influential character. Now, certain other characteristics which changes rapidly or on a destination is the first one is disease outbreak. So disease outbreak we have this COVID-19 where people are not traveling anywhere or the industry is down, and so this particular example we can take it as disease outbreak. The next one is political unrest or uncertainty. Um, maybe a strike by the political parties or certain calamities which is caused by the political reasons we call them. Next one is natural disasters. Natural disasters can be anything which is made, example, earthquake, you have tsunamis, and so on. Now, Indonesia is a very popular tourist destination. It has lost almost like half, almost all its tourist income because of the volcanic eruption which recently occurred. The next one is extreme currency fluctuations or devaluation. Yes, this is a very important reason. Now, most of the people travel to Vietnam. Why? Because Vietnam has a very low exchange value, currency value. Whereas when we go into US and other countries, it when you go into US and other countries, the currency value of India and US is more. So people tend to avoid traveling to US or the European countries, whereas the travel shifts to your other Asian countries. And changes in governmental travel policies. This is an important one. Now, Sri Lanka was, if we have to travel to Sri Lanka, we have to procure our visa before and end. But after the terror attacks which happened, Sri Lanka opened its door for arrival on visa. Now, this particular arrival on visa scheme made more people to travel into Sri Lanka. So, changes in governmental, apart from visa, the other travel policies also exist. Now, you have the tabular column of the travelers. I mean, the characteristics on what basis travelers choose a particular destination. So, whether 57 percentage, sightseeing 44 percentage, beaches 39 percentage, entertainment 30 percentage, language spoken 28 percentage, restaurants 28 percentage, and expensiveness 28 percentage. The next is we go into physical geography. Physical geography is the study of natural terrain and feature of the entire world. It's not to a particular location, but to the entire location. Now, this is very important because when customers come to us and ask, okay, so I wanted to go to Greenland, so will I find all greeneries there? No. So that time I have to be able to answer them, no, Greenland, you will not find greenery. It is full of ice. So you have to know the natural terrains, and also knowing the ocean is important when we sit in the counter. Like where is a particular ocean located, the Pacific Ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, the Indian Ocean, because oceans play a predominant role in determining the on which side the passenger is on which route the passenger is going to travel. The next one is your cultural geography. Cultural geography is nothing but your study of behavior, the customs, the habits, the tradition of the people in a particular location. Now, this cultural geography can also be called as human geography because it studies more, it gives more importance to human behavior. The next one is your, sorry, on all these three geographies, sorry, I forgot to tell you about environmental geography, which also comes into your or destination geography generally, but now we have it separately as environmental geography. Environmental geography is nothing but knowing your environment, the biodiversity, the ecosystem of your world, of your location, of a destination is what we call it as environmental geography, and also um, and also helping the environment to sustain, we call it as environment geography. Now, based on all these four types of geographies, we can decide on how, why, or where people are going to travel. Now, this particular combination is called as touristic patterns. Now, this touristic patterns as can be of can vary into three. So we have the peak season where you have more number of people traveling to a destination. You have low or off season where you have less people or no people traveling to a destination, and shoulder season where there is no more and there is no There is no more number of travelers or less number of travelers. Now going into our world continents, we have world continents. Continents are divided into seven, as we know, which is North America, South America, Africa, Europe, Asia, Australia, and Antarctica. Now, certain geographers don't take Antarctica as a continent because it is unsuitable for human inhabitants. And but 8 or 6 or 7, there is still a confusion in that. Now, the continents which are ranked by the square kilometers, the first is Asia, followed by Africa, North America, South America, Antarctica, Europe, and Australia. Next is your map reading cells, which comes longitude and latitude, which are very important to know a particular destination to a particular location. Latitude are imaginary lines which run from north to south, and sorry, latitude are imaginary lines which run from east to west, and longitude are lines which run from north to south. Now, each of these imaginary lines are located at 15-degree intervals, and it is on the 0-degree longitude and 0-degree latitude, which is your equator. Now, knowing this particular longitude and latitude will help you in identifying a particular location of a particular city or a destination. Longitude and latitude are also useful for the pilots because when they are flying the aircraft, these longitude and latitude signals are what is being communicated to them because they cannot see the surface is from the sky. So these latitude and longitude it in the radar will help them to help them in their routes. And along the equator latitude, we have three zones, climatic zones, which we call it as Arctic zone, temperate zone, tropical zone. Along the equator, which runs at 0-degree latitude, you have Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. So the gap between equator and Tropic of Cancer will be tropical zone. Again, below the equator, it will be again tropical zone. So every interval, if it is going to be 15-degree interval, so every 15-degree interval above the equator and below the equator will have the same climatic conditions. The next is your major cities around the world. Now these cities are taken on the basis of 2019 population. We can be happy that we have around 5 cities of India at least in the population index. Yes, we are good in our population. And I've given you the name, the country, the population, and the language spoken. Now, why do we take these major cities on based on population is because people tend to travel. Most of the travelers, the first thing which comes to their mind when thinking of India is Delhi. Because Delhi is highly populated. It has become a major city. So where there is more number of population, the city automatically goes up in the stand in the country. So most people also come to that particular city. Most airlines also operate to that city. More accessibility towards the city is more. So that's why you can see we have all the metropolitan cities of India being in the major city index because more number of population is there. Why? Because we are thriving. All the metropolitan cities are commercially well-off cities. The next is the busiest airline routes in the world, again according to 2019 index. Right, I have given you the routes which are being flown. Mostly, you have the routes which goes to London Heathrow. You have Hong Kong, and Singapore are the most flown routes apart from these routes. The next is your codes and codes. Now, codes are very important in your airline industry. Now, why we have to know codes is now when we are working in the system, each and every system has limited space. Let it be a Galileo or a Media receiver, they have a limited space. So I cannot go there and type LO and it will show me an X. So I can't go there and type LO and U and the full name of the city. It will show me the error or it will not type. So what I have to do is I can put only LON for which the system will respond to me. So for this I have to know the codes. Codes are also used so that space is minimum, the space used is very minimum, and it is also used so that we can identify different cities. Now I have cities with the same name, like I have two Salem, I have two Paris, I have three Londons, I have two St. Petersburg. So when people is referring to a particular city, I'll not know which city, or when I'm putting St. Petersburg, the system might get confused and it will show me all St. Petersburg. Now I can select from the list which is being displayed, but I should know the code to which particular city I have to select. So code learning codes is very important. Now these codes, like we can't sit and take everything into our mind. It is only through practice that these codes can be learned. Now, when we talk about codes, we have the city code, the airport code, the airline code, the country code, and the currency code. So, when we talk about city codes, it's three letters. It is made up of three letters, and certain city codes are very easy to remember, and certain city codes are very difficult to remember. For example, FRA as Frankfurt, the first three letter of Frankfurt FRA. You have Delhi, the first three letter of Delhi DEL. Then Berlin. Then you have Port of Spain, Port of Spain POS, and Port au Prince PAP. So these are like these. You have many easy codes which you can, if you know the name of the particular city, the first three or certain combinations will be there. Now there are also difficult codes where LAX stands for Los Angeles. So you don't have X there at all, but LAX comes here. And LED stands for St. Petersburg, which is in Russia. Then BGW stands for Baghdad. YMQ stands for Montreal. Now, all your Canadian countries will always start with Y. So YMQ, YTO, YQC. So all your Canadian country cities, all your Canadian cities will start with Y. So city codes are made up of three letters. The next one is your airport codes. Airport codes are also made of three letters. Now, when can I use the city code and when to use an airport code is if the city has only one particular airport, then the city code and the airport code will remain the same. For example, in Chennai, in India, almost all metropolitan cities or all the airports, all the cities has one single airport. So it will be the city code which will be used for the airport code. For example, Delhi has one particular airport, so the Delhi airport code and the city code will be same, DEL. Same wise in Chennai. Chennai has one airport, so we have MAA. The city code will also go for the airport code also. Likewise, HYD and other things. So if there is only one airport, the city code and the airport code will be same. Now, if there is more number of airports in a particular city, then comes your airport code separately. You have, for example, in London, you have LGW and LHR, Glasgow and LHR through airport. So London has two airports. So you have the city code different and the country and the airport code different. The next one is your airline code. Airline code is made up of two character codes. Understand it is two character codes. Two character codes can be either alphanumeric, numeric alpha, or alpha alpha. So alphanumeric are examples like Azerbaijan Airlines, which you have J2, Zoros Airline S4, Air Peace P4, and you have numeric alpha, which is Air Ukraine 6U, Jet Airways 9W, Air Kazakhstan 9Y. And alpha alpha, we have many, for example, our own airlines, Air India, AI. Now, again, this list gives you the top 20 airlines of 2019. So you have Qatar Airways, QR, Singapore Airlines SQ. Now, knowing the airline code is also important to be in the industry. The next one is your country code and the currency code. Now, country code is made up of two letters, and this two letter can be of any combinations. For example, you have Argentina, AR, Australia, AU, you have India, IN. So it can differ. It can differ and it can be of any combination from the particular country's name itself. The next is your currency code. Currency code is three-letter code which is composed of the first two letters will be the country code and the last letter will be the currency's first name. It might change in some currencies, but yes. So if you take AR peso, AR is the country code and S stands for peso. As I told, it might change for certain countries. So Australia, AU is the currency code and Australian dollar is the currency code. So AUD and other countries which yes. So BR is for Brazil. Already we have R, so they've taken L from Real. So likewise, it is a combination of the first two will be the currency country code, and the last letter will be of the currency's first letter. Now, there is also a currency which is widely used in European countries, the euro. So the euro was launched in the year 1999, and it is the official currency of 19 countries out of 27 European Union countries. Is now out of these 19, okay. Now, apart from these 19 countries, many other countries which are outside European Union also use this particular currency. There are certain countries, as I told, 27 EU countries, only 19 use official euro as their official currency. The other countries use their own currency, their own nation country currency. Certain countries which don't even belong to the European Union, they use currency called euro. So thank you for listening patiently.